Well, good morning and welcome to New Thought Center for Spiritual Living Sunday service. I am practitioner Shelly Walker, and what a joy it is to spend this day with you today. I'm going to be joined today by some of our ministry team and the incredible Lori Jones and Brian Harris and the band, and I am so excited to get started. So let's take a breath. Relax where you are as we turn to practitioner Sarah for our opening prayer.
Thank you, Shelly. I invite you all now to join me in our time of prayer. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath in, exhaling, letting go, arriving here and now. And as I turn my attention inward, it is so clear to me that all that is moving and flowing in me is also moving and flowing out of me into all that is. And so I know that there is only one thing happening. One light, one love that I call spirit, moving through all things at all times. I know the ground that I walk upon, the air that I breathe, the water I drink, and the light in my eyes is spirit. I see so clearly the divine spark in me now, and so I know that all that I say and all that I do is love. And it is in this same awareness that I know that all who are impacted by the coronavirus are love. The ground that they walk upon, the air that they breathe, the light in their eyes, the water they drink is spirit. And so I know that they are divinely guided and divinely blessed right here and right now. I so clearly see our community in that same expression. Our community is a divine spark, blazing powerfully, uplifting the planet right now. And I am so grateful to be a part of such a community, to be a part of such a big and powerful expression of spirit. And it is in that same gratitude that I so appreciate practitioner Shelly, our ministry team, our staff, our wonderful musicians, and the many hands it takes to be this big, bright, powerful expression of spirit. And so I know that our service uplifts and our service blesses all that comes into contact with it. And it is on that same note that I release so deeply into that flow, into that energy, into that spark. And I let it go and affirm this by saying, and so it is. And as I move in that spark now, in that light now, I turn our time over to Rev Barb. Blessings.
Oh, let this great power wash through. Oh, let this great power wash through. I don't have to wonder what to say or what to do. Just let this great power wash through. Oh, let me see God's light in you. Oh, let me see God's light in you. I don't have to seek to see the truth. Just let me see God's light in you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, perfect. Let's allow ourselves to go into meditation now with this. Oh, let this great power wash through. So I invite you to close your eyes right now and take a deep breath in. Recognizing this divine presence and power is moving in through and as you, right here and right now, wherever it is that you may be. Oh, let this great power wash through. Let this great power wash through, wash through. We don't have to wonder what to say or what to do. Let this great power wash through. Take a deep breath into that knowing. Breathing in and releasing, relaxing more into this moment, allowing this great power to wash through. Now let me see God's light in you, in you. Let me see God's light in you. Breathing that in. Let me see God's light in you. I don't have to seek to see the truth. Let me see God's light in you. Again, oh, let this great power wash through, wash through. Let me see God's light in you, in you. So as we breathe into these phrases, recognizing and understanding that truly this divine presence moving in through and as us allows us to see the world from this place of grace, from this place of knowing true divinity, love, purity, honesty, connection, love. Oh, let this great power wash through. So take another deep breath in. Bring this knowing back with you to this present moment. And as you are comfortable, open your eyes. Wonderful. Now let's welcome back again Lori Jones.
1, 2.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. And if you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there, yeah. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. You can count on me, 'cause I can count on you.
Thank you so much, Lori Jones and Brian Harris and the band. I am so excited about all the things that our music department are up to these days. And make sure you check out Lori's website, lorijones.com. I was just there, and there are some amazing new videos that I hadn't seen yet, and they touched my heart, and I know they're going to touch yours too. So let's make sure that we're supporting our artists at this time, okay? And I want to let you know that Reverend Shannon sends her love. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago when she kind of fessed up that she hadn't had a day off in quite a while and her work-life balance was a little bit off? Well, I am so happy and grateful to have a senior minister who walks their talk, and she's taken a little bit of extra time this week to nurture herself and her family and her garden. So Godspeed, Reverend Shannon, and happy planting. And wow, don't we find ourselves in very interesting times? Here we are with pandemic and economic shutdown and physical distancing, and my God, it's an election year, and life just keeps rolling on. And I've been thinking a lot about how we all seem to be in such different places with it all. I know some of you are incredibly concerned about your finances and your businesses, and you need to get back to work, and you need everything to open back up so you can be a responsible and productive adult. And I know some of you are so emotionally drained from this experience that you just want things to open back up so you can get back to your life and not have to think and feel about things quite so much. Some of you just need your children to go to summer camp. God bless. Some of you are so concerned about the potentially catastrophic effects of opening up too quickly and the effects that that might have on your beloveds that you're in a lot of fear. And you know, Michael and I can find ourselves in that place sometimes because we have a wee lad who has a neuromuscular disorder that affects his lungs. So of course we're concerned about his safety and his well-being and that of our parents and our beloveds and you. So how do we as individuals and as a community balance all of these needs that seem to be at odds with each other? Luckily for you, I have some thoughts about that. A friend of mine posted this the other day. She said, "This lack of distraction is forcing me to sit with my feelings a little too much." Can anyone relate? Yeah. And if you were one of my students, I would say, congratulations, you've just found your work. They really hate it when I say that. But it's true. I really believe that one of the silver linings of this COVID cloud is that we no longer have the luxury of distracting ourselves, keeping ourselves from being intimate with our own healing process. So for those of you who are just itching for things to get back to normal, whatever that means, I invite you to check in. Is there something that you are avoiding looking at? And are you willing to just sit with that place in you with gentleness and compassion? Maybe have a little conversation with it. Give it some love. Love. And on the other hand, for those of you who are not worried about things opening up too slowly, but are worried about things opening up too quickly, you're worried about loved ones who might be at risk, I want to say this. This is a call for deep and profound prayer work. Prayer for yourself, the one who's worrying. Prayer for your beloveds. that you want to keep safe. And prayer for all of the at-risk people of the world. Every time you find yourself starting down that cycle of worry, stop, breathe, and ask yourself, where in the world am I perceiving a lack? Because a God of wholeness can never be in lack. And so when you're in a perception of lack, then you're forgetting God in the midst of it, love in the midst of the situation. And the only thing you have to do is stop and pray for that love, that God, that truth to be revealed. And so the key, the real key, is to remember to stay in prayer. But the thing to stay aware of is this. Whether you're in the open up now before I eat every snack between here and Michigan camp, or in the dear God, what are they thinking? It is way too soon to open up camp. No matter which camp you're in, listen to how you're praying. Dear God, get me the hell out of here is what we call praying the problem. Dear God, make them see sense is what we call praying the problem. Because you're focused on the problem. You're focused on the lack. You're not focused on the allness that is God. You know, this brings to mind for me the Prayer of Jabez. Do you remember good old Jabez from the Old Testament? Poor Jabez. Even his name meant pain or sorrow. Jabez cried out to the God of Israel, "Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm so that I will be free from pain." And God granted his request. The Prayer of Jabez teaches us three things. First of all, ask. It's okay to ask to have your needs met. It's okay to make an audacious request of God and to see what happens. Ask. And then the second thing that the Prayer of Jabez teaches us is that the way to successfully navigate life is to partner with Spirit. He said, "Let your hand be with me." This is like saying, God, I'm asking for a bigger life, a better life. I'm asking for this thing to be over, but I'm also acknowledging that I don't have to manage it all on my own. Just help, please help. And the third thing that the Prayer of Jabez reminds us is this. The word Jabez, his name literally means pain. His mother named him pain. His diagnosis is pain. His prognosis is pain. And yet he had the guts to ask God to be free from pain. And you know what it said? It said God granted his request. No matter what the diagnosis is, no matter what the prognosis is, there's no precedent that says that you have to live in pain. You have a right to be free. You have a right to live in prosperity. And there is no condition of your birth that has power over Spirit. And when you really begin to understand this, when you really begin to remember and live from this place that knows that love, infinite love, is within you and with you, that you're inseparable and whole, then you begin to pray with conviction. You begin to listen to that still small voice, that voice of freedom within you that says, oh yes, you are enough. And yes, you do deserve to have enough. And here's the next right thing to do. And when you're partnered with infinite power, you have the courage to take the next right step, to do the next right thing. And life suddenly begins to unfold differently because you are living from a different place. So the Prayer of Jabez teaches us to ask, to partner with Spirit, and to remember that wholeness is your divine birthright, and there is nothing that can say otherwise. And you know, the thing about it is you don't have to know the how. You just have to know. Oh God, increase my territory and keep me from suffering. and watch the magic unfold. Do you see? So prayer, this knowing, this good, is how we deal with ourselves in these times. And so how do we deal with community, with people who might seem to have different needs? How do we hold a safe place for all of it, for everyone? I've been thinking about the needs, these human needs. And I was reading about a really interesting Harvard study. Harvard has been following, I think it's 400 men for 75 years. Every 2 years, they check in with these men, and they do brain scans and blood draws and questionnaires. And for 75 years, they've been following these men and their families. Some of them started out as street urchins in Boston, 1938, the poorest of the poor. Some of them are Harvard graduates. And as they've studied the lives of these men, some of them have become, CEOs and farmers and a president. Some have turned to alcohol. Like it's the gamut of the human condition. And what they have learned by studying these men is that there is one key to living a happy life. There is one key to happiness. And that key is healthy relationships. That's it. Healthy, trusting, good relationships. And one of the things that's really interesting is that they found that the people who had the healthiest and most satisfying relationships in their 50s were the most physically and mentally healthy in their 80s. They lived longer. Their brains worked longer. The good life is built of good relationships. So, I'm going to give you practitioner Shelly's top 3 ways of building great relationships. Are you ready? Okay. Number 1, own your stuff. Number 2, stay curious. And number 3, get grateful. Let's dive into those just a little bit. The first one was own your stuff. Listen, the people I know who have the healthiest, most loving relationships, most satisfying relationships in their lives, all of these people can tell you in a moment what their core issue is. And the reason that they can tell you this is because they've done the work to discover what the issue is, and they've done enough of the work to heal it so that the emotional charge has released some. So my core issue in this lifetime is abandonment. I know where this story came from, and I know what it looks like when it rears its ugly head. I know the dysfunctional coping strategies that I picked up over the years to manage it, and I know exactly what it looks like when I project it onto the people around me. I've done enough of the healing work to be able to own my stuff when it comes up. So what's your stuff? What does it look like when it comes up? What does it look like when you're projecting it onto the people around you? And do you have a safe place to explore it? A counselor or a therapist or a practitioner? When you start owning your stuff, you're able to see the people around you with more clarity and compassion. It builds such healthy relationships. The second key to a healthy relationship is to stay curious. Don't assume you already know. The fun of relationships is allowing someone else to surprise you. You know, we see everything through our own filters. For example, I was shopping a while ago, back when we used to go to stores to shop. Do you remember that? Yes. When I was shopping for clothes and I saw this really cute t-shirt. It said, "Run the world." And I thought, yeah, the world would be a much better place if I were in charge. I could run the world. And I took it to the cash register, and as I was paying, I noticed that the description on the little cash register window said athletic wear. And I realized it meant run the world, like jogging. Yeah, that's not going to happen here. But my filter of how I see myself and how I see the world defined how I read the message on that shirt. And your filters of how you see yourself and how you see others and how you see the world, those filters define how you read the people around you. And when you're able to stay curious, you stop laying your assumptions about life onto the people around you, and you can let them surprise you. And there's one other thing about curiosity. Curiosity can help soften those rough edges. Instead of, why the hell did he do that? When you come from curiosity, it becomes, I wonder why he did that. I think I'm going to go ask. Do you remember back in the day when we were all studying Stephen Covey and the 7 habits of highly successful people? One of those habits was always assume a positive intention. And when you come from curiosity, it's a lot easier to assume that that person had some sort of good intention for saying or doing what they did. And when you're curious, you can go approach it with wonder instead of judgment. And finally, step 3 to healthy relationships is to stay and get grateful. Studies have shown that gratitude has an incredible impact on health and well-being. Did you know that people who are habitually grateful actually sleep better? It reduces stress, and it actually helps to rewire your brain for resiliency. Seriously. But you know what I always say? This is a feeling universe. You can't fake it. Gratitude has to be backed by a feeling of conviction. And if you're not there yet, start where you are. You know, I woke up today and I'm grateful is a perfectly good prayer for some days. And eventually you might get to a place in your life where you're able to be genuinely grateful for that really hard experience. Maybe because of who you became because of it, or the lessons that you learned, or the people that you drew into your life. Just start where you are. And remember to be grateful, grounded in gratitude. Okay, take a breath. Maybe stretch your toes. Here we are in the world of 2020, getting ready to change into yet another pair of pajamas. And my God, I think we've found the end of Netflix. But now we can remember to pray. Oh God, increase my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from suffering. Let your hand be with my beloveds and keep them from suffering. We can remember to own our stuff so it doesn't project onto everybody around us. We can remember to stay curious and grateful, because this is how we enlarge our scope of compassion. And until we can hug each other again, please know that you are loved, you matter, you belong right here in my heart. Stay safe, beloveds. Let's pray. Oh, resting in this place of goodness, of godness, of wholeness. This love that is everywhere present, that is right here, right where we are. I turn my attention to this wholeness, this grace, this God. And in this place of remembering the truth of the one life, the one love, the one presence that is God, I speak a word of grace, knowing that as we stand our ground in this ever-shifting and changing world, I know that there is a power that passes all understanding that stands with us. And that as we take this pause, as we take this breath, as we take this moment to simply explore that which is within us, what I know is that we eventually come to find that that which is within us is pure light, ultimate love, and an ever-growing grace. And so I give great gratitude for this God that is everywhere present. I am grateful for this God that is in every place of worship this day. Whether it's one person in their home, or whether it is the multitudes that gather in gratitude each day. What I know is that God is right there in the center of all of it, revealing truth, revealing wholeness, revealing a peace that passes all understanding. So for everyone who is hurting, I speak a word of love. God bless us. God help us. God guide us in understanding and wisdom and grace. And in this place of compassion and love, I speak a word of blessing on each one within the sound of my voice. There is great good right where we are, because there is great God right where we are. And in this we let it be. Blessed be. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Practitioner Shelly, for your beautiful message today. We're going to hear from Lori Jones in just a moment. This is our time of conscious giving. If you were lifted up by today's message today and would like to pay it forward, we invite you to do so. You can text to give at 503-966-3236 is the easiest way, or you can visit our website, newthoughtcsl.org/give, for other ways that you can give. When you contribute, it allows us to continue to share this message. We're so grateful. However you choose to give, we're truly grateful for your blessings. And so now let's hold that intention of giving in the heart and share our blessing together. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And now, Lori Jones.
When I'm caught up in trying to move forward, trying so hard to find a better way, when my mind won't stop, when I'm beating myself up, I know it's time to stop and gently say, it's enough to feel the breeze on my face. It's enough to just breathe life. It's enough to know the love that's in my heart. And it's enough just looking in your eyes. Ooh. And in this place of calm and still and wonder, life is magical again, and I am free. And I don't need to know just where or how to go. Right here, right now is all I need. And it's enough to feel the breeze on my face. It's enough to just breathe it's enough to know the love that's in my heart. And it's enough just looking in your eyes. Oh, it's enough just looking in your eyes.
Lori Jones, that was fabulous. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Our theme for Deeper Dive Monday this week is remembering them. Join practitioner Georgina Eagleston on Memorial Day evening as she facilitates our 3rd annual memorial naming ceremony. Our loved ones are remembered when we say their name. Please bring a candle, a lighter, and the name of your loved ones to the Zoom call. You can register on our website. Spiritual Practice Wednesday is restorative yoga with certified yoga instructor Sarah Forbes at 7 p.m. Please help us out by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Also, hit like and please share the videos. When you do, it expands our viewership. For information on these events and so much more, please check out our website, newthoughtcsl.org. I send it back to you, Practitioner Shelly.
Well, thank you, Reverend Christine, Rev Barb and Practitioner Sarah, Lori Jones and Brian Harris and the band. God, we are so blessed around here. Oh, I'm really excited to let you in on something fun that we're doing starting next month. We are going to start a summer book club. And we're going to start with the Book of Belongings by Sue Monk Kidd, who's one of my favorite authors. Meetings are going to be Thursday evenings at 6:30, and you'll need to pre-register so you can get the link to the Zoom room. So registration will go live next week, and I'm really excited to read this book with you. And remember that when this video is over, to click through to our Zoom chat starting here in just a minute for our community chat time where we can go deeper about some of the things that we talked about this morning. And after the Zoom chat, practitioners will be available for one-on-one prayer in private breakout rooms. So if there's something weighing on your heart or your mind or a celebration that you want to magnify, our practitioners will be ready to pray with you. So, may you go in the light, as the light, and with the light until we meet again. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. You are loved. Mwah.